Yeah. Be about water.
Sure.
You have to slow or something. The water. Scripture. Won't get into these scriptures. Just might bring it's a lot. Tuesday night Brotherhood class on Precinct's office at the Walker Bar. We're going to go into Christmas. What does the Lord think about Christmas? Because I know a lot of Christians, a lot of black people that say they love the Lord, right? If you could get that light for me, turn that light off. A lot of Christians that say that they love the Lord, right? They say they love the Lord and they follow the scriptures. Well, they're gonna be celebrating Christmas. Come December 25th, they're gonna be getting it in, drinking the eggnog, having a good old time, right? And so we're gonna find out what the Lord says about Christmas. We're gonna find out if you even supposed to be celebrating. What is Christmas? And why do you celebrate it? Just give me 1 second. If anybody that's tapped in, if you got questions or anything, go ahead and type those questions in. You got any questions, young man? Any questions off top? Let's see. You got any questions, young man? Any questions off top? Let's see. I'm not even. So like it. So yeah, we're gonna get it. I'm gonna wait for a couple more people to get in, and we're gonna start up. If you have any questions regarding the scriptures regarding Christmas, there's a brother that killed himself. Well, he killed his new wife and his ex-wife, and then he killed himself. So I'm trying to find that story real quick. Let me see. Yeah, I think I found it. So I'm gonna go ahead and read the story, right? I'm gonna read the story. Then I'm gonna get a scripture. Right. So this is what is this? The New York Post. So a man confesses to murder on Facebook Live before killing his ex-wife and himself. A Maryland man gunned down his former girlfriend in Baltimore, then murdered his ex-wife and confessed to the killings on Facebook Live before shooting himself. Ray G. Sharif Black, age 44, admitted he murdered his ex-girlfriend, Tara LeBain, Saturday afternoon while outside the Columbia apartment building of his ex-wife, Wendy Natalie Black, according to the chilling clip. Black says on camera that the ex-wife is also about to die. I just did something crazy, man. The Hanover man says on the video, I just shot my ex-girlfriend in the head, yo. It felt like a dream. I never thought I would be that guy. Black said he was distraught over child custody issues with both women, saying, excuse my language, shit has been real crazy and that he couldn't go to prison. The person that really started my depression in all of this is my ex-wife, Black continued to say. So she's next. And then I'm going to do myself too. But I just want to say to these people, don't play with people's emotions, man. Don't lie on these men. Black's 42-year-old ex-wife then comes to the doorway and the video shows before suddenly cutting out. Oh, here's my ex-wife right now, he says. And then he says, today's the day, right? So allegedly, well, this brother that was, was going through whatever he went through, he got fed up. And from other stories that I've seen is that they were saying that his ex-wife, meaning his first, she had said that he had molested his children and she wasn't going to let him see his kids. And the girlfriend who was pregnant, I believe, also wasn't going to let him see his kids. Once she got pregnant, he said she started acting different, right? This is the problem. The Christian church is the problem. That's the problem. The Christian church is the reason why this happened. The Christian church is the reason why Black and Hispanic people suffer from mental illness, suffer from depression, and sometimes they just don't feel like they can go any longer in this society, man. And the fact that we have not learned, how to deal with problems just goes to show you that the Christian church, the so-called white man in this society, does not have the answers for Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians. This is a horrible thing, man. Now, I believe he had children with his first wife, and now these children don't have a mother or a father, right? And think of all the psychological damage that's been done to these children. Think about what they got to live through. That's going to be years of therapy and years. They probably won't never get over this. Can you imagine, coming home from school or probably being there at the house and your father kills your mother, then he kills himself, right? And so the children are going to have to live on with that, man. But this brother, I know he was going through things, but this brother, like so many Black men in America, was weak. I hate to say it that way, but he was weak. Now, there's a lot of things you can do in that situation. One of the things you can do is just say, you know what? You're not going to let me see my children? Deuces. I'll go find a woman that is better than you, and then she's going to let me see my kids, right? But before all of that, you got to know who you're laying with. And secondly, you shouldn't be sleeping around with anybody according to the Bible. You shouldn't just be sleeping with people, right? A lot of Black and Hispanic men find themselves in a situation where you sleep with a woman, right? You sleep with her. Everything is all good in the honeymoon phase, and then she get pregnant. Then she change, and you find out she's not what you thought she was. But it's your bad because you was the one that wanted to put your penis in everything, and you didn't do your due diligence in courting the sister and getting to know the sister. That's the rule in the ISUPK. That's what we learn under Commander General Yohana, is that you take time to get to know someone. You have to. It takes more than 6 months for all of the things, all of the negative parts of a person's personality to even come out, right? You want to court somebody for 6 months to a year to even get to actually say, I know them. You can't know a person in 1 week. Hell, so black and Hispanic people get together in one day. Relationships start off with one night stands, and you can't learn. You can't get to know a person that fast, right? You don't know what you're dealing with. A lot of sisters, you mess with brothers that you don't know what you're getting yourself into. Now the brother is stalking you. Now the brother is hanging out outside your job, and you could have prevented all of that by just knowing who you are and keeping the law, statute, and commandments, and being raised in the way to where you understand, like, I can't just sleep with any man. This man has to meet my father, or he has to meet the man that's over me. I can't just be laying with any man, right? I don't know, what is it? His history is, and the same with a sister. This brother was weak, man, and we teach brothers to be strong. You in a situation like that, first of all, you need to get counsel. Second of all, in this situation, what this brother should have did is just said, you know what? I'm gonna just move on. I'm gonna move on with my life. You're not gonna let me see my kids. It's nothing a person can do. But one of the things that the brother said that struck me, he said, man, it's the holidays right now, and I ain't got no family. That this time of the year, where they say it's the most wonderful time of the year, jingle bells and holly holly Christmas and all of those things, that spirit of Christmas, and you think it's the best time of the year, blacks and Hispanics, when blacks and Hispanics go through hell, start stressing, start robbing and killing and trying to get things for their family and have things for a holiday that we not even supposed to be celebrating. That brother said that, which was shocking to me. That was the one of the reasons he brought out was, man, it's the holidays and he can't see his kids. He don't got no family. He ain't got nobody, right? Now, if that brother would have picked up the phone and he would have called a priest of the Lord in the ISUPK, that brother wouldn't have had did what he did. He would have found out that he had a family. He would have found out that, Christmas and this time of the year don't mean nothing to the Lord, and it shouldn't mean anything to him. It shouldn't have meant anything to him, right? So let me get this. This is Job 38:3. Gird up now thy loins like a man. This is the Lord speaking to Job, but this is speaking to black and Hispanic men, right? Gird up thy loins. Your loins is your midsection right here. The Lord said, gird up thy loins like a man. Get ready to go to war. Get ready to battle. Be a man. Don't be effeminate. Don't be emotionally broken and unstable. Now, I understand there are some brothers that have issues. There's some brothers that have, mental issues, psychological issues, and you need to seek professional help. But a lot of black men are just weak and don't know how to deal with the pressures of everyday life. And so they do things like this. Or they say, you know what, I'm just going to go get high. I'm better off just hanging out in the streets and getting high. I'm better off ripping and running the streets, doing what I want to do than sit here and deal with this woman and my kids. Right. But in this situation, you got to be strong. Like brothers say it all the time in the ISUPK is that life is war. Life is about warfare. Right. Like every day it's a battle. Every day you're battling, people, you're battling demons, you're battling yourself. It's a fight. It's a constant fight to be righteous. It's a constant fight to stay, on the right path. And that's what the Lord wants us to do. He wants us to fight. The Bible says, Exodus 15:3, the Lord is a man of war. Sure, the Lord is great in mercy and he loves, but he's a man first, and he's a man of war. He's like a father. The Lord is not like a mother. He's like a father figure. You understand? And he wants you to stick through it, and he wants you to fight and come out on top. That's all it is. Every day is a battle. And if brothers have to just take it one day at a time, that's what you got to do. And you got to understand every day is a battle. The Lord, look, it's a battle. It's a battle just to get, like, I'm teaching class, right? It's a battle just to get to class. You get off the slavery and you got this and that, and then something might come up. And there's so many things trying to keep you from doing the work of the Lord. It's so many things that's trying to keep you from coming and sitting down in class and hearing the word of the Lord. And you got to fight through all of those things and get there. You understand? You got to get there. I'm going to read it from the top. Job 38:3. Gird up now thy loins like a man, for I will demand of thee, and answer thou me. The Lord demands that you gird up yourself. The Lord demands that you go to war, man. Fight them demons. Fight that temptation. Fight, 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 fight. Life is a battle. Life is about warfare, right? And Black and Hispanic people are in a constant fight. It's a constant fight in where? The battleground is right here. Right here in your mind. That's where the battleground is at, right? And Black and Hispanic people are fighting right now. They're fighting themselves. They fighting themselves to what? To not go out and rob somebody at an ATM. They fighting the spirit of Christmas. The spirit of Christmas is saying, you need this. Your kids are not going to be happy without this. You want to put that smile on your kid's face. And you don't got it. How I know? Because I didn't have it. How I know? Because I've seen Black and Hispanic people that didn't have it. And I know what we do. What comes out? Like in the holiday season, what comes out? They have the what is it? You got the what is those things called? The cards. You got gift cards. You got people selling gift cards, right? You got boosters. You got people that just go in stores and steal stuff and come to the hood and they sell it at a cheaper price, right? You got Black and Hispanic people, brothers robbing. Right now in LA and Hollywood, there's been a string of robberies where brothers is going straight inside of a restaurant, walking up to the table with a pistol and telling you to put everything in the bag and walking out. You got people getting pulled over. Houses getting broken into left and right now. Home invasions, robberies, all of that is going on because of the pressure of Christmas. It's pressure on Christmas, and you got to fight that. You got to fight the satanic demon of Christmas that tells you that you need to get a present under that tree. You need to have some money in your pocket. You gotta fight that demon, right? So the Lord requires us to be men. And that brother was weak. You know, that brother was weak, and that was a horrible thing that brother did. I feel bad for the brother, but more so I feel bad for the children that no longer have mothers, that no longer have a father, right? A lot of times when you're not allowed to be in the life of your child, a lot of Black and Hispanic people can attest to this, and you just go on with your life, man. The Lord will vindicate you. Later on, when those children grow up and they actually get to meet their father, they'll say, well, damn, my mom didn't want me around my father, but he cool as hell. He a cool dude. Like, I'm mad that, Mom, what you say again? There's stories like that where grown Black women, grown Black men actually get to meet their father and find out he ain't nothing like what the mother had taught them their whole life. And that he actually wanted to be in their life, but he couldn't be in their life. That happens a lot in our community, right? There's plenty of horror stories where this has happened, right? So let me see. Where we at? What I want. 1 second. So what does the Lord think about Christmas? Right? What does the Lord think about Christmas? Is the Lord with Christmas? Christmas is the holiday where like I said, it puts so much pressure on our people, and we do things we shouldn't do. Right? Right now, they got another thing they put the pressure on you is with all the commercials. They got all the Christmas commercials out right now. All of the, the little jingle bells and all of that going on, everything going on. And you're looking like, dang, I need that. I need to get this. And you're tempted. And a lot of Black and Hispanic people are going to go broke trying to please a child that don't even appreciate the damn toy that they're going to get them. Don't even appreciate it, right? Like I say this all the time. I say this every year when Christmas come around. That toy that you bought those kids, them toys is gonna be broke by the end of the year. Them toys ain't gonna make it to 2023. They're not gonna make it. They won't see another year, right? So it's a lot of things to consider. And another thing, the thing about Christmas also, what you got to understand is this: it is a time for merchandisers to recoup or get back all of the money that they done lost throughout the year. So during Christmas, and they put out all of these deals and all of these, savings and all of that. Well, all they're really doing is liquidating their stock and getting all of their inventory and getting all of the money that they lost the whole year. So it's just a big day for them to make money. And it's a day for you to think that you're serving God when you're really not serving God. So I'm gonna get Jeremiah. One second. Let me get Jeremiah. We're gonna find out Christmas, like what the Lord think about Christmas. Is Christmas in the Bible? Did Jesus Christ Jesus Christ celebrate Christmas? Because Christmas is supposed to be about Christ and Santa. Wait a minute, I'm confused. What is Christmas about? I'm confused. That's my question to Black and Hispanic people, because obviously you're either celebrating Christmas because you love Christ and you think it's his birthday, or you celebrating Christmas for Santa Claus, or maybe you just celebrating the traditions of men. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just traditions of men, right? We're gonna find out. Let me get it. So this is Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. And it reads, "Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel." That's the context. So we already know who we're talking to. This is the prophet Jeremiah speaking to the nation of Israel. Verse 2. "Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven." So he's saying right here, learn not the way of the heathen. So what you got to ask your pastor is, who are the heathens? Because I know he's talking to Israel, but who are the heathens? The heathens are any nation that were not Israelites. That's who the heathens were: the Chinese, the Moabites, the Ammonites, the Japanese, the Hamites, the Africans, the Edomites, the so-called white man that today. These are considered the heathen. And the Lord said, learn not the way of the heathen, meaning don't learn their ways. Just like in the Old Testament, where he said, when you possess this land I'm gonna give you, there are going to be other nations around. I'm paraphrasing. There are going to be other nations living around, but do not follow them. Don't serve their gods. Don't give your sons to their daughters. Don't learn none of their ways. Well, right here he's saying it through the prophet Jeremiah. Again, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. For the heathen are dismayed at them. What does that mean? When they look up at the stars, when they look up at the signs of heaven, heaven meaning the sky, and they look at the sun and they look at the stars and they look at the constellations, and They start to make gods out of these things. They start to worship these things, right? Many cultures have worshiped, the moon and the stars. They were dismayed by the signs in heaven. They looked up in the skies and thought those were gods. They worshiped the things that were created rather than worshiping the creator. But that's okay though, because they were never meant to worship the Lord. The Lord had one chosen people. Verse 3. For the customs of the people are vain. So he's saying right here, the customs of the people are vain. What does vain mean? Young man, do you know what vain means? We're going to get the definition. What the word vain means. He says the custom of the people are vain, right? So I'm going to go. So vain, let me get the Webster's. Hold on one second. This is the Webster's Bible dictionary of the word vain. I'm going to go with 3. Having no real value, idle, worthless. The Bible says, I'm going to read it again. He says, for the customs of the people are vain. The things that they do, their customs are vain, meaning they are worthless. They are meaningless. They have no value at all, right? Now listen to this. This is the part where Christians really need to. I'm gonna need you to really focus and listen. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest. He goes out in this forest and he cuts this tree down. The work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. So he goes out there and cut them trees down in the forest. Verse 4. They deck it with silver and with gold. Ooh, now that gave you a clue. This is your beautiful Christmas tree right here in the Bible. The Lord is talking about your Christmas tree right here. Not that the Israelites celebrated it, but that it is a vain custom of the heathens. Vain custom of the heathens, right? Useless, worthless. The brother Knock, he had said something that was funny, and it's crazy when you're in the truth because you kind of you think different. And now that I'm in the truth, I see things different. But the brother said, so I'm paraphrasing what he said, but he said, you literally take a dead tree, put it in your house, and wrap electrical cords around it and light it up. Now, when you think about that, a dead tree or dead grass or anything is flammable. You just think about that, and I had to laugh because I'm like, that's crazy. But we look at that as it's normal. It's a vain custom to put a Christmas tree in your house, and even a lot of brothers and sisters in the ISUPK, we celebrated Christmas in the world. My grandma, I think my grandma, she used to have this Christmas tree that was an imitation tree. So we use the same tree every year. You take it out the box and stand it up and spray it with the little white snow stuff and put the little bells on it and all of that. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to the meaning of that. But it was a vain custom that we've been celebrating, since we could remember as Black and Hispanic people. I'm gonna start from the top at 4 again. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails. They fasten it with nails. And with hammers that it move not. So this workman, I'm giving you the picture. He goes cut a tree out of the forest like they do in the movies. They go out in the wintertime in the snow and cut down a tree, bring it in the house, deck it with silver and gold, fasten it down with nails on the ground so that it doesn't move. That's your Christmas tree. That is a heathen. That is a custom of the heathen, and you should have learned that in the Christian church. Your Christian pastor should know this, but I'm sure he don't know this. I'm sure he would say that was back then. That's not now. We do everything in Jesus' name. I'm sure your pastor, with his slick talking, jelly bean shoe wearing, what is his name? What's the brother name with the suits? Steve Harvey, three-piece suit wearing, lion self would say. I know he would say that, right? This is your tree. I'm gonna keep going. Verse 5. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born because they cannot go. It says now they are upright as a palm tree, but they don't speak. Why is it saying they don't speak not? I need you to focus in, Christians. I need every Black and Hispanic people that say they love Jesus and they're going to celebrate Christmas, focus in. Now we're talking about the Christmas tree. Why did it say they are upright as the palm tree, but speaketh not? I'm going to come back to that. They must needs be born because they cannot go. Meaning they need to be born. They got to be born because they cannot go. They got to be picked up, right? Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. So, in ancient Babylon, there was a man named Nimrod. And Nimrod had a relationship with his mother, Semiramis. And one day Nimrod died. And Semiramis, his mother, said that his spirit came back in an evergreen tree. And in this tree in ancient Babylon, you would have to worship. And if you didn't worship this tree, they would cut your head off and they would hang the heads on these trees. That's what the little balls hanging on the Christmas tree symbolize. Decapitated heads. So people looked at the tree as though they feared it because they thought the spirit of Nimrod was in that tree. So right here on verse 5 where it says they are upright as the palm tree but speaketh not, is because people feared the tree as though it was a living thing and it had the spirit of Nimrod in it. The scriptures also goes on to say they must needs to be born. They must need to be picked up because they cannot go. They can't move. The Lord is being sarcastic and being funny. Like, listen, why are you afraid of this tree? It can't speak. It can't do anything. But in ancient times, people did believe this. And this is why this is in here, right? It says, be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. Because people looked at it as like an idol, like a god. And the Lord is telling you they can't do evil. They can't do anything to you, evil or good. So that's the history in ancient Babylon of the Christmas tree, right? And the Christmas tree has been passed, that worship has been passed down from ancient Babylon to Egypt to Persia to Greece to Rome and now today to America, right? Now the slaves didn't celebrate. The Jews, the real Jews, didn't celebrate Christmas in West Africa, right? They didn't celebrate these customs. The 10 tribes that was here before the Spanish conquistadors got here, they didn't celebrate Christmas. Christmas strictly comes from the relationship that Blacks and Hispanics have with the oppressor. And Black people learn Christmas. And actually, I'm going to go into some of those stories. Black people learn Christmas during slavery. Just like the same way you learned the 4th of July, and the same way you learn about Easter, and the same way, not you, but your foreparents. and they passed it down, and it became a tradition, right? So let me get Colossians 2:8. That's your Christmas tree right there in Jeremiah 10. Jeremiah 10, chapter 10, that's your Christmas tree right there. That's the Christmas tree. And the Lord called it a vain custom of the heathens. All right, let me get Colossians 2:8. Got any questions? You're a young man. How old are you?
10.
Say your age. You're 10 years old. And you've never celebrated Christmas. How do you, what, when you see Christmas and you see people celebrating Christmas and you see the commercials and all that, do you feel like you're missing out on something? What does it look like to you? What's your opinion on it?
Christmas looks like a fantasy to me. It looks non-fiction.
You said Christmas looks like a fantasy to you.
Yes, it looks like it came out of a cartoon.
It looks like it came out of a cartoon. Most High in Christ. Most High in Christ. That's that. If you listen, and that's from a 10-year-old that's my son, never celebrated Christmas in his life. He said it looks like a fantasy. It looks like something that comes off of television, right? Listen, you're not going to kill your kids if they don't celebrate Christmas. It's not going to hurt them. They'll be okay. They'll make it. A lot of Black and Hispanic people think that they're doing something bad and evil to their children when they don't celebrate Christmas. You think that because you don't celebrate Christmas and you don't give your child what they want, that it's the end of the world. Meanwhile, your child ain't doing nothing you say, ain't doing anything that you want them to do, embarrassing you, going to school acting a damn fool, and you trying to break your neck to get them a damn toy that is going to be broke in a year. A lot of y'all like to do that, like to get the most expensive toy, when in reality, your children don't even give a damn. If you ever paid attention to kids, they don't care as long as they got what they got. You know, you can give a child, you can think that a child wants some damn Jordans, but you get them the little light up Spider-Man shoes, and they'll love them shoes more than they love the Jordans. And you done spend all that damn money for nothing, for show, trying to keep up with the Joneses and celebrating a satanic holiday that you don't even know why you celebrating it. This is Colossians 2:8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. You know what the word philosophy means? No. I'm sure there's people that don't know. We're going to get philosophy. We're going to get the definition. We're going to get the definition of philosophy. The Webster's. So I'm gonna go with number 3. It says a set of ideas about how to do something or how to live. Right? That's a philosophy. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. We just learned what the word vain was. Worthless lies. Beware lest any man spoil you through a philosophy. A philosophy is a way to live. A lot of times, Black and Hispanic people are so goddamn simple. You get up on social media and they post these memes, and it just be something that somebody thought out their head and they made, and they post it like, "Oh yeah, this is facts. This is how," and it's a philosophy. It's a way to live. They'll post something and say, "Oh, this is how I'm moving all 2021," as though this is a way to live. The Bible says, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. So what's the philosophy of Christmas? The philosophy of Christmas is it's the most wonderful time of the year, and that everybody should be happy, and it's holly and it's jolly. When you go to the Black and Hispanic community, it is not holly and jolly. It is the complete opposite of happiness and joy in the Black and Hispanic community. It's death, it's theft, it's lies, and it's deceit, man. Black and Hispanic people Don't real black people, like I was looking at that commercial. It was a commercial today with black people at Christmas time, and they had the they had the, black people love some macaroni and cheese. They had the macaroni and cheese and the kids smiling. They sitting around the table and passing the food around, and it was a Walmart commercial. That's what it was. It was a Walmart commercial. And black and Hispanic people, your family don't look like that in the holidays. Half of y'all is drug addicts. You waiting to eat so that you can go outside and go get high. Some of you got to sit in the same room as the man that molested you. The family is dysfunctional. You got half of the family there that don't talk to the other half of the family. That is not the reality that you see on these goddamn commercials. But they try to market that to black and Hispanic people, right? And black people are the biggest consumers, and we're the number one people. We love to be gamed up, meaning we love to hear a lie, and we love to believe a lie. And Christianity has been a lie from the time we was on the plantations picking cotton. Right? I'm gonna start from the top again. Colossians 2:8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ. Well, we know that Christmas is a tradition of men. Christmas is not only a tradition of man, if you black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, Christmas is a tradition of your oppressor. If you celebrating Christmas, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Halloween, Easter, all of them, when you celebrate these holidays, you are celebrating white supremacy. That's what you actually celebrating. You're celebrating the holiday of the man that raped, robbed, and murdered your people. And you don't even give a damn. You don't even give a damn, right? Black and Hispanic and Hispanic people could care less of the truth. We're so dumbed down and numb to reality, man, that now we're just following traditions. We're just following traditions of our oppressor, traditions of men. You following traditions that was passed down by your grandmammy and your grandpappy and all of your forefathers, and you don't even question it, right? And then when we come out and we say, listen, this is wrong. We're not supposed to be doing that. Now we a hate group. We hate our people. But the pastor with the alligator shoes and the snakeskin build that's molesting your daughter, he's a man of God. But these brothers in the ISBK, we're a hate group. We not men of God because we tell you the truth, right? Let me get that real quick. We become your enemy. We become your enemy when we tell you the truth. We become the enemy, right? But if we went along with what you believed, if we said, yeah, go ahead and celebrate Christmas. Yeah, go ahead and roll that blunt. If we went along with that, you would love us. You would love us. If I was on here talking about, how good different strains of weed are and how good they smell, you would love me. But because I tell you, you can't celebrate Christmas, you can't smoke weed, you can't be a whore, you can't be a sodomite, you can't do nothing against the Lord, you can't do what you want to do, then you hate me, right? But this is only, we're only telling you in the spirit of Christ, and that's because we love our people. We're only telling our people you can't do these things because we love them. Like if you didn't love somebody, you wouldn't warn them. You wouldn't look out for them. Like if you love somebody and you know there's something going on in that direction, people getting killed that way. You'll say, don't go down that street. Don't go that way. Go around. If you don't love your persons, if you don't love your people, you wouldn't say anything. You'll let them go straight to their death. And that's what we like to do in the Black and Hispanic community. We'll sit there and wait till it happened to say, "Oh man, like free my nigga J Rock." Well, why didn't you tell J Rock to stop terrorizing the goddamn community before he got locked up? You've been watching him destroy himself all this damn time. Now you talking about free my nigga J Rock. J Rock ain't coming home. And part of the reason J Rock ain't coming home is because you didn't tell him he need to slow down and he need to stop. But now you want to say free my nigga. But you watched him destroy himself for 5 goddamn years. That's our community. We'll watch each other destroy ourselves, then gas when something happens. Oh, so and so got shot. Did you hear what happened? The whole time you knew what was gonna happen, but you never said anything. And that's why the men in the ISUBK are so special and they like gold and diamonds, because the Lord chose us to go out there and suffer that, man, and suffer our people. It hurts. It's a pain to know what you know and to still see your people do that. To still see your people celebrate Christmas. To still see your people hurt one another, murder one another, kill one another. It's painful. When you increase in knowledge, you also increase in pain, man. It's painful to see your people destroyed, right? So let me get I got this. This is Galatians 4:16. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? That's the problem, man. We don't like the truth. We like to be told we can do what we want to do. Like they say, don't speak to us, speak to us smooth things. Tell us things that we want to hear. Don't tell me nothing that I don't want to hear. But then you turn around and you begging and you protesting and you asking for mercy and you asking for justice and you wondering why we're in such derision and why we can't get right as a nation of people. It's because you don't want to be told right. It's because when people tell you the truth, they become your enemy. Just like the scriptures say. When we tell you the truth, now you hate us. Now we ain't cool anymore, right? So I'm gonna drop that. Let me get Hosea 4:6. And this goes back to what I was talking about and how we don't even care. Black people don't care that they ain't supposed to be celebrating Christmas. They just said we locked in this tradition, and it's going to take something tragic for a lot of Black and Hispanic people to understand that the Lord ain't with none of these holidays. He's not with none of them. Give me 1 second. I think somewhere there's a study where they said the average person looks at their phone 160 times a day. The average person looks at their phone 160 times a day. Why am I bringing that up? Because we have a phone. We use our phone for TikTok and Facebook and YouTube and all of those other things, but we never use our phone to gain some knowledge, right? We never use our phone to look something up. That's why when we be at camp out there in Hollywood, a lot of people be shaking their head when brothers bring out statistics. We say, you know what? Don't believe us. Look it up. You got a phone right in your hand. People too lazy to even do that, right? They don't inquire and they don't want the knowledge. This is Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. So we are destroyed, meaning We in prison. We number one in abortions. What else? What else is going? We number one in heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure. We're number one in all the bad things on the earth. And it's because of a lack of knowledge. It's because we don't know our God. We don't know that we're not supposed to be celebrating holidays. We don't know that we're not supposed to be eating certain things. We don't know that we're not supposed to be treating each other certain ways. We don't know. We lack that knowledge. You know how they say in Chirac, oh, he got caught lacking. Well, Black and Hispanic people are lacking. We're lacking in the most important thing that we should have, and that's the knowledge of who we are, the knowledge of the scriptures. We're lacking. You know, in the Christian church is the primary reason why we're lacking in the knowledge of the scriptures and what we're supposed to be doing and what we're not supposed to be doing, right? I'm going to read it from the top. Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. And that's slavery. The Lord forgot about us. We didn't want to be a priest to the Lord. The Lord let us go into captivity. He said, you know what? The hell with these people. I've given them everything. I set them up. And they didn't want it. They rejected what I was giving them. So I'm gonna reject their children. And now their children are in America begging for justice. Their children are in America dying silly, stupid deaths. Their children are in America dying in all kind of ways. Like I just brought it out, health-wise, we're number one in all the bad things. And that's because the Lord had at one point in time rejected us. And he let our enemies overcome us. Right? And so when it comes to that, it's knowledge. The Lord is talking about knowledge. Now, when this was written, there were books, and there's still books today. And that's how you would get knowledge. You would get wisdom, you would get understanding, and just knowledge about different things, right? Well, the Bible is the most important book, that the best knowledge that you could ever get. But my point is that today we have cell phones, and you can look anything up. It's really not about the book or the cell phone. It's more about us inquiring and asking those questions and wondering and trying to seek out the knowledge. And we don't do that. We don't seek out the knowledge. If we did do that, we would know by now in 2021 that we ain't supposed to be celebrating no goddamn Christmas. We would know that. But because we don't, we are rejected by the Lord. And you think that you can, it's gonna be all good. Like you're gonna have your presents and under the tree and all of that, and everybody's gonna be all smiles. I guarantee you, it's gonna be your kids gonna be having a hard damn frown on their face because somebody is gonna be dissatisfied with what they got. And while you thought that all your hard-earned money and doing all of this work and working this overtime to buy these presents was gonna please your family, it's not gonna be the case. It's not gonna be the case, right? So that's the reality of Christmas in the Black and Hispanic household. That's the reality. So I'm gonna get Amos 5:21. What I want, 5:21. Amos 5:21. Let me check. I'm gonna check right now. See if it's any. Check. Amos 5:21. They be playing. They're gonna be playing at the Christmas songs and drinking that eggnog with that brandy. Got that honey ham. Big Mama got that honey ham cooking right now. You know what I'm saying? Some people they just party the whole month, just like they do with their birthdays, just like heathens did. All right, I got it. Amos 5:21. This is the book of Amos 5:21. I hate. Wait, hold up. This is Amos speaking the word of the Lord, and it start off saying, "I hate." I thought God didn't hate. Well, I guess if the Lord created us and gave us the emotion of hate, why wouldn't He have the emotion of hate, right? Let me read it from the top. Amos 5:21. I hate, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. He said, I despise your feast days. What is the feast days? We have feast days, and they're all in Leviticus, right? Feast days are in Leviticus, and guess what? Christmas ain't in there. New Year's ain't in there. Halloween ain't in there. Thanksgiving, 4th of July, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Labor Day, none of those things are in there. These days that he's talking about, these feast days are the feast days of the heathens that his people, the Israelites, celebrate. I'm gonna read it from the top. I hate, I despise your feast days. And that's gonna be a feast day. That's a feast day. We probably in the biggest feast days of the so-called white man, which is Thanksgiving and Christmas. And the whole family is supposed to gather around a big old table, like on what's that movie back in the day? Soul Food with Big Mama, and all the uncles and the aunties and the little cousins, and everybody's supposed to sit around, and got the mac and cheese. What I'm thinking is going to be a lot of pork. The collard greens with the hog mogs in it. I you don't know what that is. You ain't never had nothing like that. The macaroni and cheese. What else? What else they make? Let me look at the comments. Somebody put in something that they're gonna be cooking on Christmas. They're gonna have them damn nuts and them and oranges and apples in a big old bowl on the table. Matter of fact, speaking of that, we're gonna hold that. I want to get. What I did have was an excerpt out of the book Christmas Season During Slavery Times. So I want to make sure I read some of that. So that's what I'm gonna drop Amos real quick, and I'm gonna come to this book. So these are some of the things that the actual enslaved some of the things that the actual enslaved black people said. A lot of people ask, well, if they was in slavery, if they couldn't read and write, how were they able to, write down? Well, right after the Civil War, the United States government sent recorders and interviewers to go interview the newly freed slaves. And so that's why a lot of how the slaves live and their experiences is documented. Okay. So let me get this is one of the ones I read before. This is Gus Bradshaw. Massa David always give us eggnog and plenty good whiskey at Christmas. We had all day to eat and drink and sing and dance. We didn't get no presents, but we had a good time. Now, I want you to think about that because eggnog is one of those drinks that people buy. It comes out during this time. And go ahead.
What is eggnog? Is it like eggs inside of a cup you drink it?
Eggnog is, you know what? I'm not even for sure. I've tasted eggnog before, but it's not something that I will, I really like. But I believe it is like it's a real thick kind of drink, and I believe it has eggs. We'll look that up. We'll look it up. What eggnog has in it? I'm sure it got eggs in it. It's yellowish, thick, and a lot of black people, from what I remember, used to mix it with brandy. Right? Let's get it. Eggnog ingredients. We'll see what's in the eggnog. So eggnog. So like it. So it's traditionally it's milk, cream, sugar, and it's whipped with egg yolks and egg whites. That's what eggnog is, right? And so a lot of people make an actual alcoholic beverage out of it. Um, so this with this brother, he said it was plenty of eggnog and whiskey. That's what they used to drink, and all they did was eat and drink and sing and dance. That's what you do today. When you get off for that weekend, you're going to sing, dance, and drink. You're gonna get drunk as hell. You're gonna smoke all the weed that you can, right? And it will be a day off from your slavery, just like your ancestors had this day off from their slavery, from picking cotton. The only difference is that you working in a cubicle or you working at a warehouse, but it's the same thing. And this is the reason why. I'm gonna move on. Uh, Let me find another. So this is Caroline Farrell. When Christmas come, Marsh and Mistress always give the slaves good things to eat. They had lots of cows. So it says when Christmas come, they got good things to eat. So they ate regular. And that goes in. I was thinking about when Christmas time comes, people get in this type of spirit to want to go give to the poor and do things for other people, right? And be nice and be generous and, extend a hand of goodwill to all mankind. And this is what they did on the slave plantation. They felt the slave master and his wife felt generous during Christmas time. They felt a little better that they said, we're going to feed our slaves better food. We're going to feed them, give them some good eating, right? I'm going to start it from the top. She said, when Christmas comes, master and mistress always give the slaves good things to eat. They had lots of cows. They give us good butter and milk, molasses, meats, and other good things. We always work on weekdays except Saturdays, and sometimes on that day until 12 o'clock. We always had Christmas and Easter holidays. We had corn shuckings and cotton pickings. The slaves would sing job, job, farm in a row. Job, job, farm in a row. Sometimes on moonlight nights, we had peanut, peanut, peanut pullings. And when we got through, we had big suppers, always with good potatoes or pumpkin pies, the best eating ever. We made cornbread with plenty of milk, eggs, and lard. That's pig fat, lard. And sometimes with sweet potatoes. The best cornbread in the world. Cinnamon bread was made with sifted cinnamon and persimmon juice. And persimmon juice cooked with flour. So obviously, they had a good time on Christmas. That one day, obviously, and in this sister's case, it was Christmas and Easter, right? The two fake holidays that are based supposedly on the Bible. And so I read this to illustrate to Black and Hispanic people that are celebrating Christmas. This is why you celebrate Christmas, because of the traditions of men. Not only the traditions of men, but the traditions of your oppressor, the traditions of the slave master. That's what Christmas is. And the Bible and the Lord is against Christmas, right? The Lord calls Christmas a worthless custom. It's a worthless custom of the heathen, right? So I'm gonna drop that. Let me get back to Amos. Amos. Amos 5, Amos 5 and 21. I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. The Lord said he don't even want to smell the smell of your house, of your solemn assembly. You will come together and they'll all, Big Mama tell everybody that come in there, y'all sit down and everybody hold hands and bow. Everybody bow your head. Let's say grace. And everybody walking in like, I can smell, man. I smell that pie. I can smell that ham. The Lord said, I will not smell. I don't want to smell that. I despise it. I despise your feast day, and I don't even want to smell it. That funk that's arising from that unclean food. Not only unclean because it's pork in there, but unclean because it's in reverence of a vain custom in which you call a feast day or a holiday. Verse 22. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Right? Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beast. Because the Lord is looking at it like this. You're coming together for a feast day, and he's comparing it to an actual feast day. And he's like, I despise what y'all got going on. Excuse me. I despise Christmas. I despise Thanksgiving. Don't offer me nothing. I don't want to smell it. It's I want nothing to do with it. You think I'm there? I'm not there. I'm not with it. 23. Take away from me the noise of thy songs. The Lord says, I don't even want to hear your song. It's a holly jolly jingle bell, all of that. All of that crap, all of that garbage. I don't want to hear it. He goes on to say, for I will not hear the melody of thy vows, right? That's what I just said. He don't want to hear it. He don't want to hear that all that Christmas music. You got people, they playing, you go into the store, they playing all of that Christmas music. You go into people's homes right now and they're playing, because every artist that made a Christmas album, they playing Christmas music. And the Lord is against it. And it's a spirit, like I was talking about earlier with that brother that couldn't fight that demon that wanted to destroy him and his family. And that demon succeeded in destroying that brother. He killed his ribs, then he killed himself, and his children will be destroyed forever because he wasn't willing to fight. And right now, you have to fight that urge. It's an urge in the earth. It's a presence in the earth right now that you have to fight. You have to fight to even, because the way the music sound, it can like snap you into the spirit of Christmas before you know it. The way everything is set up, it's set up in a way to make you fall in love with it, right? And Black and Hispanic people, you have to be extra extraordinary to resist the temptation of celebrating Christmas, right? Don't let your children dictate what you're supposed to do as a parent. You're trying to please your child, and you're going to destroy your children by keeping them locked in of the oppressors' traditions and holidays, because the Lord is against it. And once you learn the truth and you keep celebrating these holidays, judgment can come upon not only you, but your children that you so-called love, and you don't want to see them upset because you need to buy them a present. And the Lord can bring judgment on your family for celebrating that. Let me get one more thing. I think I want is justice executed. Right. This is Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Because sentence against the evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. And you've probably heard it before. I'm sure it's a lot of Black and Hispanic people that have heard that these holidays are satanic. They're pagan. You shouldn't be celebrating them. It's not Jesus Christ's birthday, right? Santa Claus isn't real. I'm sure a lot of Black and Hispanic people have heard this, and they still said, I'm going to celebrate it. I had a brother tell me, you know what? I understand everything you're saying, and I agree with everything you're saying. And I'm really fighting right now because I don't want my children to resent me if I don't get them Christmas presents. Let them damn kids, how they say, F them kids. Let them kids resent you. Don't celebrate Christmas. You'll be saving your children's lives, man. You're destroying your children by celebrating Christmas, and you just you're continuing a cycle of celebrating white supremacy, right? So, like the brother said, he's fighting, he's warring. That's what I mean. That it is an actual battle. It is an actual demon, that Christmas demon that wants you to celebrate Christmas, man, and not the Feast of Dedication. That Christmas demon wants you to go broke. That Christmas demon wants you to feel lonely during the holidays. That Christmas demon wants you to feel some, I don't got nobody. They put me in a hard position, so now I'm going to kill everybody. That Christmas demon wants you to do that, and it will push you to that. Get into the school, get into the truth, get into the scriptures. The Bible says that we are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. We're destroyed just because we don't know and we don't inquire. And in 2021, it's a damn shame that I have to tell grown Black and Hispanic people that Christmas is not real. Santa Claus is not real. You know that it's a satanic holiday. You know it's a pagan holiday. We shouldn't be telling Black and Hispanic people this, but this is our duty and our job. But it's a shame that we got to do this with all of the information floating around, with all of this work that the Isupk has put out in the world, in the earth. It's a shame that we still have to tell people that have degrees, that have all the knowledge in the world, that's smarter than a smart drive. It's a shame that we got to tell you Christmas is a wicked satanic holiday. With that, that's the class. All right, let's clap it up.